Hello and welcome to the Bulletin with UBS on Monocle Radio. Each week, the sharpest minds and freshest thinkers in finance take you beyond the numbers and hype, right to the heart of the big issues of the day. This week, the Art Basel Art Fair takes place in Basel. The original Art Basel Fair has, of course, inspired a global brand, its other international outposts, and so much more besides. But there remains something quite unique about the fair that began it all. There's also a milestone this year, as 2024 marks 30 years of UBS's partnership with Art Basel. The new director of the fair in Basel is our guest today, and she'll tell us how the fair is celebrating that special relationship with UBS this year, including with some inspirational works from Kosovar visual artist Petrit Halilaj. We will also hear from the global CMO of UBS, who will tell us what the partnership means to the bank, why art is so enduringly important to UBS, and what the future might hold. Let's start this special edition then with Maike Cruse, Director of Art Basel in Basel. Maike, welcome to the programme. We'll talk about the 30th anniversary celebrations in a second, but before that, just tell us a bit about how the relationship with UBS has evolved over those 3 decades.
UBS and Art Basel's partnership has grown over the past 30 years and really became a collaboration, creating great moments of connection and bringing together the global art ecosystem, really. And over the past 2 decades, as you know, Art Basel has really expanded its presence, became truly global. Now we span across 3 different continents and we have 4 shows. And in 2002, we launched a fair in Miami Beach. And then in 2013, a fair in Hong Kong. And at the same time, UBS became the global lead partner of Art Basel. So the UBS really was on our side for the last 30 years. There are many developments in the show that were only possible thanks to this collaboration. Just giving you some examples, in 2000, UBS expanded their partnership to include the Unlimited exhibition platform, which was then launched. Is still taking place since 2000, and it enables artists to realize large-scale projects in the fair. In 2017, UBS and Art Basel collaboratively decided to contribute to a conversation around the art market, developing the UBS Global Art Market Report. And that's really one of the broadest studies around the current state of the art market. And so those are just 2 examples to see how the 2 organizations really progressed in very close collaboration over the past 30 years.
Yeah, and they're great examples. And obviously we cover the Art Market Report. We're good friends with Claire McAndrew, of course, its author, who's so clever and has such a unique insight. Just to pick up on that point, though, that you made there, Maike, just about how Art Basel has changed. Obviously, you're the fair director there. And as you said, it's kind of changed the international impression of Basel as a city, but as an art ecosystem. What's the growth of the fair meant, do you think, for the city? Because I think almost like perhaps no other relationship between a city and its fair, Art Basel in Basel, there's some, I don't know, it's a unique chemistry. For people who've been there, maybe know what I mean, but tell us a bit about how it's changed really what the city means almost.
Well, Art Basel and Basel are very important for each other. I think the city of Basel is one of the many reasons of the great success of our fair, because it's a very intimate setting. It's a pretty small city, but with a very high density of high caliber art institutions. There's really art everywhere. It's all in walking distance. And this all contributes a great deal to the social energy in the city during the fair. And of course, this also spreads out over the whole year in Basel. I think the presence of Art Basel really accelerated what is happening in the city and vice versa.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk a little bit about the specifics of celebrating this 30th anniversary then. Maike, this must have been so exciting to kind of be involved with exactly how this was going to be marked, and obviously you've got an incredible kind of artist that you're working with in particular. Tell us a bit about what people can expect.
Yeah, so in a celebration of the 30th anniversary, Art Basel and UBS will co-present When the Sun Goes Away, We Paint the Sky. It's a work by Petrit Halilaj, and it will be presented on the façade of the former Café Spitz at the Hotel Merian, which is actually a new venue that we introduced this year at Art Basel. And it will be kept on show after the fair, also for the local audiences. So we will see it in Basel much longer than just the fair week. And in addition to this, UBS is also supporting talks, which are accessible to all throughout the week of the fair.
Yeah, and tell us a bit more for those who aren't familiar with Petrit's work, because obviously a Kosovo visual artist doing really sort of burgeoning reputation and really exciting and fascinating talent. But maybe for those who aren't so familiar, give us a little bit of the headline about what makes this work so special.
Yeah, so I came across Petrit's work for the first time when I worked for the Berlin Biennial. I think he had one of his first bigger installations there. I think it was in 2008. Petrit is an artist born in Kosovo in 1986 and now lives in Berlin. And in his works, he often reflects to the recent history of the Kosovo and the consequences of political tensions in the region. When the Sun Goes Away, We Paint the Sky is a star constellation. It's sculptures that we place on the facade of the former Hotel Merian. And it's an artwork originally made for Manifesta in Pristina in 2022, and also remains as a donation to the city in Pristina. And the stars have since, in different constellations, moved to different places, to the Tamayo Museum in Mexico, and then to the museum in Bozen, and will now move to Basel. And the title of the work refers to an essay written by a 12-year-old girl in Pristina, and is written for a brighter future. So for Petrit, stars have multiple meanings. They're symbols for dreams, symbols also of excellence or tools of navigations. And our 5 stars in Basel will light up when the sun goes down. So they will be visible throughout the whole day. And when the sun goes down in Basel, they will light up and they will guide us the way. So we would see them as a symbol of hope and collective recovery.
Absolutely, and his work is particularly powerful when you understand a bit more about his story and I guess his early days. You know, sort of drawing when he was in confinement, right back in those early days, and he started to express his trauma and his understanding of the collective trauma that he was a part of through those early artworks, and that you can still kind of see or feel almost that in the manifestation of his work to this day. It's really potent, and as you said, it's super positive despite depicting a lot of that trauma. There's a really interesting quality to, well, all of his work across media, right, that reflects that kind of balance.
Becomes very poetic and very beautiful, but still really touches upon this trauma. So it's a very interesting artist to follow. I'm personally following his work since quite some years, and his works are also part of the collection of UBS since quite some years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was a great artist to co-represent at Art Basel to celebrate our 30 years of partnership.
Yeah, so exciting. And I guess it's difficult as the sort of custodian of the fair, Maike, to ask you to do this, but can you pick out a few other highlights for us? Are there things you're particularly excited about? I mean, you mentioned Unlimited, of course, earlier, and that's always so exciting, but tell us a little bit about maybe 1 or 2 things that you're particularly looking forward to this time.
Yeah, 1 or 2 is definitely very, very difficult, but I will try, and stop me if I become too long. So I'm really excited, of course, to welcome our 285 galleries from 40 countries and to see what they bring to the show. They will, as always, present a premier selection of works. And then in addition to this, I'm really looking forward to our extended citywide program, including the wheat field by Agnes Dennis that we will plant on Messeplatz, or we are already planting now. Like Petrit, it's another work that stays in Basel longer than just Art Basel week. So it will stay on Messeplatz until its harvest. And it's a homage to her seminal land art and ecological art piece that she made in the 80s in New York. And then I'm really looking forward to the recontextualization of Parcours at Klarastraße, which is a regular shopping street that connects the new part of the city with the old town, and that shows the rapid transformation in inner cities post-COVID. It's curated by Stefanie Hessler, the director of Swiss Institute, and brings together various newly produced works, site-specific pieces by artists like Louis Weinberger, Alvaro Barrington, and we will have pirate flags by Rikre Tirvanija lining the middle bridge. And then, of course, the new venue, the Merian that I just talked about, where we will showcase Petrit Halilaj's work and where we also introduce a performance program that happens every day. So for the first time, Art Basel program will happen during the evening and at night.
So much to be excited about. The excellent Maike Cruse there, speaking to us from Basel ahead of the fair. Well, next up, let's check in with John McDonald, Group CMO at UBS, for some further reflections on the significance and meaning of the bank's long and deep partnership with all of Art Basel. Ahead of the original fair in Basel kicking off, John shared a few insights and reflections, starting with what Art Basel means to him and a favourite Art Basel memory.
The most special memory I have of an Art Basel fair, I have to say, is probably the first fair I attended as a UBS employee, having joined the firm, and in Miami, Art Basel Miami, seeing the teams come together, the partnership involved, the incredible experiences that we delivered for our clients, and then seeing in our lounge our commission from Jeffrey Gibson, an artist I love and am very passionate about. I in the moment took a step back and looked around and saw just this wonderful moment being created. And for me, that was everything Art Basel could and should be, and is something I really won't forget. An art fair is really, for me, about convening the different stakeholders in the art ecosystem, artists, collectors, passionate enthusiasts, in a singular place, in a singular moment to create memories. I think art has a really unique ability to allow us to reflect on the human condition and then provoke questions about that and about the society we want to build together. So for me, that's why art has such a critical role to play in culture. A timeless theme for me at Art Basel is a connection, and how Art Basel allows us to connect with clients, with prospects, with different stakeholder groups, with artists and with collectors. Connection for me is ultimately what Art Basel is all about. I think what's really critical for art fairs in terms of how they evolve over time is to embrace change. The world around us is moving fast and changing fast, and making sure we embrace that change to deliver an experience for attendees, for artists and for collectors that's memorable is really crucial. How would I describe the partnership between UBS and Art Basel? I think we have to start with the fact that we've been proud partners for nearly 30 years and the lead partner of Art Basel. And in any relationship that lasts 30 years, whether that's professional or personal, I think there are some key things to it. Number one is an incredible spirit of collaboration and partnership, which definitely defines our work with Art Basel. I think number two is a shared worldview and perspective. We both have Swiss roots with a global perspective, which is really crucial to the evolution of Art Basel. And then thirdly, we have a shared passion and a shared belief that art is an incredibly important connector and bringer together of people. And so those three things for me are really the best way to characterize our relationship. The impact of our partnership with Art Basel is really significant. I think in the first instance, what we've seen is the growth of the fair into a truly global event, a global moment, which we can be really, really proud of. For us, it's a crucial relationship platform where we get to meet with clients around the world every year in different places and talk about their passion, art. And that opens up all sorts of fascinating conversations about life, legacy, etc. And it's a really, really powerful thing. One of the key areas of impact that our partnership has had, I would say, is the development of the Art Basel and UBS Global Art Market Report, which really shines a light on the different behaviors of the participants in the ecosystem, is very valuable, offers useful insights about what's happening in the art market, and I think offers a really valuable addition to the conversation around art. Art is a really crucial area for us for a number of reasons. I would say a key reason being that we are ourselves passionate collectors and have been for many decades. Our art collection, run by Mary Roselle, is really almost unique in terms of corporate collections. And over the years, we've really brought a diverse range of new voices to the collection. It's something we're immensely proud of, and it inspires both our clients and our own employees. When you go into a UBS office around the world, you'll see our collection front and center, adorning our walls, and on a daily basis providing us with the kind of inspiration that only great art can. One of the things we, I think, can be most proud of in terms of how the partnership has evolved to stay relevant is the fact that we've collectively embraced the idea of new and broadened horizons. So whether that's growing our footprint globally into new markets like Asia and the US, or whether that's bringing new diverse voices into the fair, I think broadening horizons and making sure we stay focused on that has been one of the key ways we've kept the fair relevant over the years. I'm really excited about the future of the UBS Art Basel partnership. For me, one of the central things that we'll continue to do and build on is clients and client access to events and bringing clients into the fair. In Hong Kong this year, we saw nearly double the number of clients attend the fair, and having spoken to various people who attended, it was an incredibly exciting experience for all those involved. So for me, the thing I really want to focus on moving forward is making sure we do broaden the access and allow even more clients and community members to participate and take part. When we think about the partnership with Art Basel, we also think about impact. And one of those areas of impact is really how we can benefit the communities in which we're participating. We know how important art is to communities thriving, and whether it's improving access of communities to participate, whether it's providing new lanes for artists to create. Community is always forefront for us when we're thinking about the kind of impact we want to drive through our partnership.
John McDonald, Group CMO of UBS, bringing us to the end of this edition of the programme. You can listen again and explore more at monocle.com. That's where you can join the club and subscribe to Monocle magazine. You can also follow the show wherever you get your podcasts. You should find out how UBS can help you by heading to ubs.com, and you can delve deeper into the bank's passion for and support for contemporary art at ubs.com/art. I'm Tom Edwards. Thanks for listening.